treble. This where our feet settle, arms stretch. The affective inspiration by the DJ, anointment. Find a space made just for our feet where we release in this dimly lit sanctuary. Lights, prism, and circular motion. Rhythm in the dark is our light, sweat our lotion. Dance is revival, prayer among the reasons we come. Meditate, clap hands, quake like mountains, breathe like sky, scream and shout like stars crying for recognition. House ain't dead, house is religion.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Dellz. Okay, I'm in a different place today. I'm a little more casual. Y'all know I throw my burgundy shirt on because it goes with the brand. You know what I mean? But I don't have my burgundy shirt on today. My burgundy dress down. I don't have no glasses on, so I'm just me today. Okay. I don't know why I look like I'm looking somewhere else. We're gonna try to fix this, okay? Because I used to be cockeyed. I'm not cockeyed no more. I've been delivered. Okay. But all right, well, whatever. It is whatever. It is what it is. So what's up, y'all? It's your boy Dellz. Okay, we back with Facebook Live with Dellz, talking COVID-19. We having fun. You know what I mean? I got two special guests today who are going to. This is going to be a great show. Let's put it like that. It's going to be a great Facebook Live because I said this is not a show. If you're new to the live, I like to just kind of go over why I'm doing this, so you guys don't think I'm just willy-nilly on Facebook. I don't even like to do lives, but I figured this is my way to inject some hope into this situation, this pandemic that we're in. And to add to it, now we got this whole Black Lives Matter movement going on. They're still killing us. We're not gonna get into that today. I'm probably gonna do a special Facebook Live for that, but figured I'd inject some hope into the world with with our lives. So basically I seen a post of one of my acquaintances here on Facebook, and she wrote in a nutshell. She had coronavirus, COVID-19 rather, and she made mention that the last 2 weeks, if she could describe it in one word, it was hell. And then she went on to say that she would rather have her 4 children, give birth to her 4 children again, rather than have coronavirus. So I was like, wow, this is serious. And then when you keep reading, she said, but I'm here. I'm 15 pounds lighter, but I'm here, and she was victorious over it. So I said, you know what? The media is not really putting out there about the people that are beating this. We see the numbers of deaths. We see the numbers of individuals who were hospitalized, but we don't see the number of people that beat it. So I wanted to kind of come on here and talk to some people that beat it, okay? And so I have with me today another individual who beat COVID-19. I'll introduce her more when she comes on, but she beat COVID-19. And not only, the good thing about her is it took literally a village to bring her healing. Outside of God, it took her a village to bring her healing, and she's very grateful for that. So we're gonna dig right in. I have another guest with me later on. If you didn't see the flyer, you don't know who it is because the original guest had a family emergency, so I had to kind of fill in her spot. But this other guest I have is very special to me as well. But she's gonna come on board. If you didn't see the flyer, you'll just have to see it later. See who it is later. But she's a joy and a delight. I'm excited to have her as well. But right now, I want you guys to give a virtual round of applause, okay, to a woman who is no, I'm gonna bring her on and then I'll introduce her. I'll tell you guys where I know her from. But come on, put your hands together, your virtual hands together for Miss Janice Williams.
Hello.
That's me. Wait a minute. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. You know, Corona have us all looking kind of crazy, so I tried to zhuzh it up a little bit.
You look beautiful, ma'am. You look beautiful. Okay. She got her hair done. She got her little bling bling on the neck. Oh, I see you. You got your little clock. Your little clock in the background.
Yes.
So we know what time it is. Okay. Are you trying to keep me on point? I guess you like look at the clock, Wardell. All right, it's about to be over. Listen, I'm so glad that you said yes to coming on. You got a little delay.
Oh, are we good?
Yeah, you got a little delay. We're good. We'll work it out. We'll work it out.
Right.
Let me see. Yeah. So I was gonna say, listen. Okay, so listen. This individual, folks, is a woman that attends the church that I attend. And she's been there for a long time, haven't you?
Yes. Been around 2006, maybe around that time.
2006. Wow, you've been there for a long time. And I think you watched one of the lives, and you say, you know, Wardell, I actually dealt with COVID as well, and she said yes to me to coming on board. So I'm very grateful to her for doing that. But you also hold. Let me get rid of these technical difficulties real quick because I need to see who's commenting, and I can only do that by finding the live on my page. So let me do that real quick. This is weird. Somehow, okay. Somehow, hold on. That's not it. All right, I'll work it out. Okay. I turned it off. Okay. We're good now. Let me see if I can see the comments. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Dana Walker. Dana Walker's in the building. I see you, Dana. Who else? Chanel. Hey, Chanel. I see you. Thank you guys for joining us. Very grateful for that. I'm honored that you would take time out of your busy schedule to come on board and hang out with us. Okay. I see you. We're working around these technical difficulties. But yeah, we're gonna work it out. So anyway, so all right, so let's get into this. Janice, again, thank you for coming onto the Facebook Live with Dellz. Okay. I'm very grateful to you for saying yes. And I know your story is is a little different than the ones I've talked about before because not you contracted the COVID-19, but you didn't have like a single individual that helped you out. You had your whole family to help you out, and that's amazing. That's amazing
Yes.
to me. Share a little bit about your experience, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I first of all thank you for the invitation, excuse me, and for inviting me to come on and be a part of what you're doing. I think it's a great idea. As you mentioned, we see the stats every day about the people who died or people who have contracted the virus, but we don't
Hmm.
hear enough about the success stories because God is still a healer. Even with COVID and all that we're going through, He's still a
Oh
healer.
yeah.
Yes. So thank you for realizing that and bringing that attention to everyone. But for my story, my mother,
Hmm.
I was her primary caregiver as far as the family goes. I did maybe 90% of everything that she needed to have. She was 88 years old, and she got sick, and we learned that she was rushed to the hospital on a ventilator, and then we learned that she contracted COVID. Um, and then she ended up passing away and
Mm-hmm.
transitioning on Good Friday. And I kept saying to my mother,
Hmm.
during
Oh,
this
man.
down, shelter in place, but being one that cared for her, uh, handled a lot of her caring, I should say. I did her meds and all that.
Hmm.
Once we learned that she definitely had COVID, my doctor said, "Okay, I want you to go and take the test." But I had already something in my spirit said begin taking your fever, my temperature. So I had already began taking my temperature. And when the doctor said, "You may need the test," so I want to see how you're doing. I was already able to tell him and my family because I didn't tell them that I had started taking my temperatures, and they were running, 99, 100, 101 for quite a few days. So I took the first,
Mm.
and it came out negative. Actually, they said I
Wow.
have the virus. But again, she passed on Good Friday. A couple of days after Easter, I just collapsed in the bathroom. One of
Mm.
my angels had to come and help me. Um,
Mm.
to the ER, and even from speaking to the doctor, they said they don't care what the test said. You definitely have, uh, COVID-19. So
Mm.
it was definitely. I had all the symptoms: the high fevers, the body aches, the diarrhea, the nausea, the corona toes. I
You
had,
said the corona toes.
yes.
What is the corona toes?
I know. I didn't know what it was, but in my sickness, my feet kept feeling as though there were needles that were ice and
Ooh.
sticking in my feet. And I was telling my daughters, "Can you just massage my feet because it was hurting?" And then a couple
Mm.
days later, I heard on the news they gave a name to it, corona toes. Even to this,
Oh my gosh.
sometimes at night I still feel it's between fire and ice just sticking in my feet. So I have
Hmm.
corona toes also, excruciating headaches. And so when I went to the ER, I actually had
Hmm.
pneumonia in both of my lungs. So I definitely, and I felt, and I trust the Lord, believe God. I felt that I was going to die one of those nights. I really felt death. And there was, and even to this day, now I call it like a COVID kind of haze that I was in. But even to
Hmm.
this day, when I step outside, I still see things in a haze. The sun is not the same color as it was.
Hmm.
The
Wow.
clouds, everything is still just a different haze
Hmm.
that I experience. But I thank God because I put a Facebook post. I had two, I call them my angels, my two daughters, that I know God used them, uh, to bring about my healing because I definitely, um, I really believe that I was going to die. There was one night, and I have, so I'm gonna let them chime in. But there was one
Hmm.
Also, I told Dr. Odessa McNeil about it, and he said that I think A.R. Bernard had COVID. And one of the things I was explaining to Dr. O, she was saying that he experienced the same thing. But at night, I really felt just a darkness that was just like trying to take over my room. And the more I
Mm-hmm.
plead the blood or just call out Jesus, the more I would call him, the white would kind of come over. But I really felt it. I felt it in my body, just different pieces of just blackness. And I would just, plead the blood and just call out Jesus. And the more I did that, the more white would come and try to dissipate, a lot of the darkness. But
Mm.
yeah, sounds strange, but to God be the glory. But I do have my.
Well, you know what? Hold on, because I want to give your angels a special intro, but
Okay.
you said that something about the light and the darkness.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit. Tell me that again. Say that again.
Well, so to best describe what I was feeling, I was seeing it like a huge black cotton ball or like an amoeba
Mm-hmm.
just take over everything that I would see in my room. My whole peripheral was just this black moving cloud. And again, the more I would just plead the blood, I would just scream out the blood of Jesus and call Jesus. And the more I would do that, then that's the only way. The more I screamed, the more white would appear, and it would just
Ooh,
dissipate a lot of the darkness. And I had even asked one of my
ooh.
daughters. I don't remember ever going to sleep. I just remember that was the last thing I remember, and that was the end of my
Mhm.
consciousness. I went to sleep, but or I just kept, I just had to continually plead the blood and call out the name
Mm.
of Jesus, and that was the only thing that would make that black darkness go away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you know what? Um. Whew, that's deep, Miss Janice. That's
Hmm.
deep.
Yeah.
You know
And
what?
when I mentioned that to Dr. O, I think she said A.R. Bernard, I believe that's who she said, he had a similar experience of this
Mhm.
darkness that tried to just, envelop and take over.
I mean, we all know that Jesus is the light of the world. Okay.
Yes.
So when you begin to see light, you begin to see you begin to see Jesus, and He came and to cover the darkness. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
Yes.
you're literally experiencing this, and he's probably saying to you, "I got you." You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Amen.
He's
Amen.
probably saying to you, "I got you." So in the midst of that, in the midst of all of those symptoms, you were probably comforted by the fact that Jesus is right there with you.
Yes.
Listen,
Amen.
okay,
That's right.
won't He do it? Okay, won't He do it?
Yes, he
So
will. Yes, he
that's
will.
amazing. That is amazing.
Yes.
Now I know another part of your story is you told me that you probably outside of seeing the light, okay, um, you probably felt like you weren't going to make it if the Lord didn't send you some angels. Okay,
Yes.
and we know angels are when human beings see angels, the indication there is that God is present. Okay,
Hmm.
you know. So you, even being a believer, you if these individuals, you were calling them angels on purpose because I, I, for me, what I took from it was that you felt like God was present because these angels were there taking care of you, and so God
Amen.
sent angels to take care of you. And if you did not have them, you felt like you probably would have died. So I want
Yes.
you
I know
to
I could
bring on these angels. Now, are all of them your daughters?
have. Yep,
So
they're my two daughters.
bring on your daughters because I want to be a little dramatic and clap for them. Okay, and I need the people to
Okay.
throw and throw some likes. Okay, for your daughters. Okay,
So
give it up for
this is my
Miss Janice's
youngest,
daughters.
Pamela.
Hey Pamela,
How you doing? All right. That's
I'm
the,
blessed,
and this
Pamela.
elder daughter, Candace.
Hey Candace, what's up?
How you doing? She's
I'm good,
so
Candace.
both of them were basketball players, Wardell,
Okay,
but
come on. All right, all right. I see y'all. I see y'all.
she was a honorable mention All American. So if you she still will spank you and ball if you want to. Here for She'll come out of retirement for you. But go ahead.
Oh, listen, you 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 probably could dribble under my legs, on top of my legs. Listen, basketball wasn't my thing. It was football. Now you on the turf, okay? We can do it on the turf, okay? But basketball, that's not my thing. I like to watch it, but that's about it. I'll stay in my lane, okay? So you go ahead and be the champion, and I'll just take the L right now. All right. So no, thank you guys for joining your mom. Um, I'm like, God, you guys really were there for your mom. And every time I talk to her, she put in there that my daughters were there for me. You know what I mean? And listen, Miss Janice, we can't take this lightly because you have daughters that love you. It's not like that for everybody. You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
Some people,
that's
and
true.
some people were in the hospital and had daughters, and their daughters couldn't come to them because they weren't allowed to in the hospital. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So you're doubling the person that you be, and the fact that you have these two angels on the side of you to help you.
Yes.
So listen,
Amen.
ladies, share a little bit about your experience with mom and COVID. Like I told mom, we just having a conversation. Don't feel like we're Facebook Live or nothing. We just having a conversation,
Yeah.
kicking it. But like we in the living room. Like I'm sitting there in the living room with y'all, and y'all had fixed me a whole meal. You know what I mean? And I was,
I
yeah,
know. Some steaks on
the steak and
well.
potatoes, some green beans. Just share a little bit about your experience with mom when it first started. You know, your fears, maybe what your thoughts were in terms of this whole her getting contracting COVID-19, and then also like if you had any experiences with because I know some people called like or tried to go to the emergency room and they said no. They called their doctors. The doctor said just stay home and take care of yourself at home, manage the symptoms. What did you guys deal with in that regard as well? Just kind of share with us.
I'll start because Candy is a great finisher. But
Mm.
first off, having us on here. Thank you. Yeah, I'll beat her though. She all right. No, just kidding. She's all
You
American.
see that? I got 5 on
Huh?
it. I got 5 on it.
Just kidding. You'll lose. But thank you once again for having us on and having my mom on to just talk about this experience because it's true. We don't hear about the victory parties, that we have with COVID. So as my mother was explaining, my grandmother went to the emergency room and then, she transitioned on Good Friday. And that Tuesday, my mom was taking her fever and her temperatures and we were a little concerned. But Tuesday she just went to the bathroom and then we just heard a boom, upstairs. Now, luckily, my sister and I were already quarantined because of my grandmother. The doctor said, listen, everybody has to check with her, do your due diligence as a citizen and quarantine from work for 2 weeks. So luckily my sister and I was already home due to that. So when we heard honestly, we thinking it's gonna be a fun 2 weeks. Of course, we sat up with my grandmother, but we thinking like we're gonna just no work for 2 weeks and we getting paid, like chill out.
Right.
But that Tuesday, yeah, it's gonna be a party. But then that Tuesday, and sometime in the afternoon, we just heard a loud boom upstairs, and I ran upstairs. I was on the bathroom floor, and that's when it kind of hit me, like, okay, Corona is here, it's live, like it's happening now. Fight this. We need to pull out every resource, every weapon. We need to pull out every holy oil, every bomb, everything that we have. We need to throw it at this thing because we already seen how people were overcome by this. And my sister and I, luckily, what Candy does currently is she does care for people in a healthcare healthcare umbrella. A few years ago, I went to medical assistant school and I was certified as a medical assistant. So we do have some background on how to care for people, blood pressure, what it should be, what it shouldn't be. To set up the machines, all of the things that we were doing. Luckily, we already had that experience. And we just threw everything that we had at it. It was 24/7 care. Even something as simple as a cough. Her coughing, because we had set up a baby monitor in her room. She didn't know it. It was like a camera. And this way, because it's that intense of care. We have to always, because a simple cough, that's just a tickle in the throat. If we didn't go upstairs and give her water and rub her back, that could be a cough. We call it coughing attacks. That could be a coughing attack in minutes. So it was just a 24/7 care. Just everything that happened. If her oxygen was below a certain level, Candy was on her phone or resources. I was on my phone, resources. We called in every prophet, minister, reverend you could think of to pray. I mean,
Right.
yeah. I mean, it was an intense, about 10, 12 days. And even when we made the call to go to the emergency room, it was the best call for us to make. And we didn't want to make that call because we knew that the hospital were not the place to be. But we're lucky that we make that call. And that's when we just had to really put our faith in God, because I know from my experience, we just sent my grandmother to the hospital and she didn't make it home. So that was also a fresh new feeling of we don't want to go. But luckily we called the EMTs, and Candy made that executive decision on that one and said, look, we got to, I don't care, like we have to, because she's not getting any better. And luckily we did. She went to the ER, and then they prescribed her with the antibiotics and other things that she needed. She came home that night. And at least now we had, outside of the faith-based things that we had, now we had the Western medicine to fight this thing. And it was still an uphill battle, but around like day 10, day 11, we really started to like, okay, we felt like we were out of the woods. Because there was many nights, that we did feel like me and my sister were just looking at each other like what we got to do. And hearing my mother nights, saying, get out of here, help, get out of here, get out of here. And we would go into her room and she would sleep. And we felt as though it was something maybe in her room that was trying to get her. So my sister and I would put on Bible verses. We would put on, gospel playlists. And when she don't know, but when she would wake up, the Bible would be playing, or like, healing songs would be playing. And once in those states of like, get out of here, get out of here. And once we would play the Bible verses or play the song, she would just immediately go quiet and was sleeping again. So it was definitely, a trying time, but we beat it though. We beat it.
Wow. I mean, so this is my 4th live, and this is the 2nd time I almost got right up in the tear ducts. Okay, just knowing how committed you guys were to your mom, to the point of because you could have just took care of her symptoms and said it, do a little prayer up, but you guys went and played music, worship music, healing music, and clearly you guys know the power of the power of God and the power of music. You know what I mean? And you went and played it so that your mom, and this is in the middle of the fact that grandma just passed away, which my condolences for that. So you guys held strong, and just for your mom, and look, she's still here. That's what's up. That's what's up. I believe that God has a reward for both of you for your, it's your mom, but again, everybody's not blessed to have individuals like you guys or brothers like you guys, around. So I commend you both, and I pray that God restores whatever you lost from doing this to your mom. You know what I mean? So now you said that you went to the hospital, right? You went to the emergency room. You did end up going?
Yes, I did go to the emergency room, and I very quickly how good God is, right? So I didn't want to go to the emergency room because at that time they put everyone on ventilators, and you go there with so much virus there. And my doctor had also said that was the other thing. Every day they were FaceTiming my doctor. Where's my book? So they were, when I tell you like around the clock, this is the little book that I read maybe a couple weeks ago after it's all over. But in here, Wardell, is every time they took my temperature, what I ate, what my response was to the food. I mean, I was blown away. First of all, I have so much medical equipment. I don't even know. You name it. And here's when I say God delivered me. So, because, you're in this kind of like COVID haze, like not really there. But I have, all this equipment. So I heard Angel Little One over here, who I think is a black market scalper, saying that she was going to she could find a place on the internet that she can get an IV infusion kit. Because she wasn't eating I couldn't eat or drink because I either was diarrhea, vomiting. I couldn't eat or drink when I ate anything, it literally tasted like I put a spoonful of salt in my mouth. It was
Oh.
to even eat. So I was dehydrated. I wasn't eating.
Mm.
So Angel One, I heard her saying she thinks she could go on the internet and find an IV infusion kit because I needed fluids. So I'm listening,
Wow.
and then Angel number two, who just said that she went to medical school some years ago, is saying she thinks that she can in her books find how to find my veins. They could do it, and I was like,
No, you got a whole medical team. You don't
I
need to
said,
go to the emergency room.
heal me. Don't let me get an IV.
You like emergency room where?
Oh
Doctor
my
where? Well, I got my daughters.
Yes, I did. So I went to the emergency room, and here's where God is. When I went to the emergency room, again, they called the EMTs. They listened, and they said it sounded like I was breathing through a straw. Went to the ER. X-rays and everything else. I had double pneumonia. I had pneumonia in both lungs. So ER doctor said, if you would have come in here a week ago with the amount of pneumonia, they see in my lungs and my condition, we would have induced you in a coma,
Mhm.
put you on a ventilator, and sent you to ICU. She said, but we learned that COVID pneumonia isn't like anything else, so we shouldn't
Mhm.
put you on a ventilator because all of that is really giving the virus more to consume. So she said a week ago, you would have been on a ventilator in a coma, and that's what they would have done. But they learned that they shouldn't do it. And I think they said either 60 or 80% of all the people that they put on ventilators should not have been. So many people died because
Mhm.
on ventilators and they should not have been. So God is so good because I was thinking, thank God that I went to the ER a week earlier. I don't know where I would have been, but they would have definitely put me on a ventilator. And that's why I thank God because of the care I received from them
Mhm.
24/7. Remember one night or during the night, them taking shifts because I could feel this blackness in my lungs and my body. So they would massage me all night long, and I would hear because I wasn't always
Oh.
one of them get tired and literally tag team the other. And so after one would massage me all night my back, and because then we learned later on a lot of people are dying because they're getting blood clots in their lungs. So their
Mhm.
massage prevented me from getting. So one would massage me for 3 hours, take a break, and then the other would kind of tag team and all night long. That's the way to God be the glory. But I'm taking too much time, and I just want you to say hi.
No, no, no.
Oh,
You're good. You're sharing your story. Um,
okay.
people that did not have it, all we
Right.
know is what you share with us. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Um, so, I'm grateful I didn't have it. Some of these
Yeah.
stories make me feel like I should have had it. You know what I mean? Being sympathetic towards it, like it's
Mm.
almost that I guess that sympathetic part of me. This is it's done some damage to our people. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Hmm.
And so
And it's still
um,
not over.
it's still not done.
No.
It's still
And
not
I
done.
think even and this is a good conversation, but I was saying to someone, I think another conversation is those who have survived. Now,
Mhm.
what is your body feeling now that the virus is gone? I'm still not, I'm still feeling residue from the virus. I don't, like I said, my toes still feel the, needles in them, but there are certain
Mhm.
things that we're still feeling. I'm still getting arrhythmias. My heart is still palpitating.
Mm.
I have arrhythmias or the
Mm.
breathing or the difficult to breathe. And I think I was always a nice, quiet, for those that know me, very nice, calm, quiet person. But I think
Yeah.
now, I've been going in hard on I
Yeah.
think I was. But anyway, now I think I'm a little more agitated, and I'm gonna blame that on Corona.
Hmm.
I was a mosquito.
That's hilarious.
Anyway,
That's hilarious. I
that's
love it. I love it. I love it.
I got,
Um.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so we're gonna let Angel number one, the finisher. Okay. Come on and say something.
No, they pretty much um, said everything. It was
Mm-hmm.
a difficult experience. One of those experiences that you just don't have time to think or
Mm-hmm.
every action. Anything that you're
Right.
doing is okay. You literally are like this the whole time. It did. It started with us, going through things with my grandmother. I think, and for me, someone who normally pays attention to the people around me and the changes or differences for them. I think at the time during that week, my grandmother had gone in the emergency room on a Saturday. She
Mm-hmm.
had on that Friday. So that week was tough for us as a family. Not just the three of us, but the rest of my family. My aunts and cousins, because we would Zoom call. We were hoping to get a. We were hoping to hear from her. We weren't raised as a disconnected or separate family. We've done everything. My whole life together, Sunday dinners and those types of
Wow.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Never been a case that a member of the family could be in the hospital and not even get a visitor or a phone call or something. So
Listen, that's just first of all, that's how we do. Okay,
right.
we're not gonna have a family member. Um, we're not gonna have a family member in the hospital and not go. It's not.
So,
You,
so
I,
much so that if I was saying to my mother that if maybe it was only right that we couldn't have gone to the hospital because my family would have
mm-hmm.
been there arguing with doctors on what her care would have been. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
the time that, you know, maybe this would have just been her time,
Mm-hmm.
everything that they say, pre-existing conditions, her age, and, all of that stuff. But we would have asked everything. What are you giving up? What are you? So maybe it just wasn't for us to have that opportunity. I don't know. But I know that as a family, we would have never not seen her or called her. So that was difficult. Those
Yeah.
6 days, waiting by the phone, calling the
Mm-hmm.
hospital, waiting an hour on hold and getting this department, this department, this department,
Mm-hmm.
speaking to anybody, and the stress. So her initial symptoms were, which were the fever and headaches.
Pain, yeah.
I thought it was the stress. I mean, we all were going through not necessarily the fevers, but the headaches and the stress and the irritability. And so when we got the call from my grandmother that Friday, I remember those few days my mother was mainly going through the fevers, um, and the headaches, but it wasn't something that took away from anything. She was her same self. By Monday, it was really like Easter, but definitely by Monday, she was coughing like crazy. And I remember hearing the cough on that Friday. And I asked my mother, because at that point you couldn't tell nobody they couldn't cough around you.
Right.
They wanted to be. So I'm like, Ma, you coughing? No. That was just a tickle in the throat. I'm like, no, it was a cough. And she's like, no. So it was only a couple times that Friday. Saturday, a couple more times. Sunday. By Monday, you are coughing, and I don't know what it is, but it don't sound good. We're on a doctor phone. So at this point, we're getting nervous now. And she may have known what she was feeling and wasn't telling us, but we knew this is not looking good. She was scheduled for, I think, the next day, and we all had to be tested because of exposure to my grandmother. And then the next day was she fainted. Me, the phone call to go to the hospital came when I already knew I would have rather her have some extra care. I had a cousin. Shout out to Adele. I called her for everything. She's a nurse. So shout out to the fact that she works round the clock all day around this whole thing. And she was someone that I would call often, because she's in there front line to see what's going on. And I'm like just trusting her. She was able to give me the pulse oximeter, which is the thing that they put on your finger. That was a way for us to monitor oxygen. Anything that she was telling me to do, I was just like, Pam, like we gotta do this, and fighting my mother because she's like, and I'm like, it was crazy. But either way, that Wednesday, when she did go to the emergency room, by then her primary doctor's like, you know, he don't want her to go there. She don't want to go. But that night, it just wasn't sitting well with me. And I said to my mother, I went upstairs and she made a comment. The 2 comments that I knew, I'm not playing with you. You going to the hospital. She was like, you know, the guy that's coming to do the work on the house, you got to come back. And I'm thinking, you can't even talk right now. Because she wasn't talking for days. Like, why is that on your mind? Like, what are you trying to say? All right, then, like a few hours later, she was like, okay, I need you to go in my office and get my retirement folder. I said, Ma, you going to the hospital, I'm calling 911. I don't even care what you feeling we going. Because I feel like now you trying to like prep me.
Prepare. Because I had my insurance papers.
And I knew that.
And that's
what she was really basically telling me about that folder. She started speaking, and like you said, we would maybe only 4 days into losing my grandmother. That whole experience, and it was like, you know, you're seeing on the news, not just that we have an uncle, you know, lost it within that week. So it's around us that you're hearing every day. You go on either social media or you go on the news. This person, so it's scary. In that time when you're watching it, you know. So we didn't know. But all I knew was when she mentioned retirement, that meant life insurance. That meant you going to the hospital.
So you know what is interesting, because you know this whole thing will challenge everything you believe in. It'll challenge everything you, because you literally felt so bad that you thought you were not gonna make it out of the hospital. They took you to the hospital. So you like, baby, get my insurance papers. Now, how did you guys were you able to absorb that statement and produce emotions, or were you just so into the moment to get mom better care?
I almost beat everybody up in the house when she said that, and I knew what it. I immediately started crying and left the room. My sister came out and was like, "Kay, you got to calm down." At this point, we can't show her that we're panicking too, but that was panic. I knew what she was saying, and I'm like, okay. And because the whole time I had been on it, like, and you know, Pam's like, no, you know, it's okay, like, calm down. And my mother's like, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm feeling good, dying. And I'm like, no, you're not gonna lie to me. No, something ain't right. She gotta go. And the moment she said that, because it just meant she hadn't been really talking for a few days. She couldn't really breathe. So it was like can you? And I'm thinking it could have been asking for water, a snack. You ain't been asking me for nothing for 2 days, and you decide to fix your face to ask me about insurance papers. Well, retirement folder. And then to me, it was like, no, you're whatever you think you're telling me, you're fine. You're not, because who thinks about that now? You're going to the emergency, and she still was fighting it. No, you know, I'm fine. I said, Mom, this is what we're gonna do. We'll call them. We'll have them come here. Because they don't want to take you anyway. They don't want to take nobody to the hospital. They don't even want to be around people. I said, we'll have them give us some treatment. Maybe it's oxygen, whatever it is. We'll steal their services for like 20 minutes, get you back to a reset to where we can hold down the fort, and then whatever. But when I had the first thing, the first EMT, as soon as he put it on the thing, he said, I hear pneumonia in your lung. You should go.
Wow.
Well, she confiscated 2 oxygen tanks
from my grandmother. Yes.
So
we used to. I was ready.
We had everything.
We had to set up.
We had a mini emergency
hospital.
All I needed was that.
I could imagine.
That's all I need. That IV machine. I'm gonna get it.
I could imagine.
I would do wild and our different personalities, because you know, I do have a more, I should say, have like a more calm and like peaceful and approach, and like seeing how things like go. Candy is like a reactor, you know, like, come on. So I'm glad that on that Wednesday night, you know, she's older, so I always let her kind of lead, and like, I just like, you know, being that, you know, the age. But that Wednesday, she made the executive decision to say, listen, I don't care what you talking about. I don't care what you talking about. I don't care what nobody's talking about. We calling them, and then let's see what they say. And the first thing that the EMT guy said was, you know, you have pneumonia in your lungs. It sounds like you're breathing through a straw. It's so narrow. And then we said, okay, wait a minute. Because now, you know, we don't want her to go either. So we asked each one of them, you know, if this was your mother, would you want her to go? And they said, no. And we said, okay, wait a minute. Because now, you know, we don't want her to go either. So we asked each one of them, you know, if this was your mother, would you want her to go? And they said, no. So we asked each one of them, you know, if this was your mother, and she sounded like this, would you take her? And all of them said, absolutely yes.
Yes.
Absolutely yes. Right now, although it is like it is in the hospitals, absolutely would take her.
And that hospital thing is a whole nother beast.
Right, and that's what I didn't want to do. But I wanted to make, and I know our time, but you know, so when I asked for the folder though, I didn't make it sound as though I was going. I just said, "Oh, I have a retirement folder in there. Just get it." Knowing that if you have that retirement folder, you're going to see, God forbid, if anything happened, my insurance information, you know, in there.
And I knew what it was
anyway. But so my concern, and I was not, because I have such faith. You know, God has delivered me and brought me through so much. Like I said, it's another day. How God has delivered me, and I was scared, nervous, but I knew that my whole concern about the dying part, and I didn't want to die, and I still don't want to die. But my prayer was, God, don't take me now, because my mother had went, and I wouldn't want them to have to experience the death of a grandmother. 3 days later, you know, a week later, death of a mother. So that was a real fight. Like, God, just don't take me
listen, now. I am glad that the Lord, because we need you here, okay? We need you. I need you to make it back to church so we can praise God together, okay? I'm gonna have to come out of this media room and come downstairs. We just gonna do that little dancing together. Okay? I need y'all two there too. So we're gonna get all four of us. We're gonna link up the arms. We're gonna give God some praise, okay?
Yes.
But Janice, I am so glad that this was amazing. Like you have, and there's some things we didn't even touch, I'm sure. But there's you have an amazing story, and to God be the glory. And what your story did exactly what I wanted to do. It's in offering people hope. You know what I mean? We can't think that we're outside of this thing right now because we're still in it. You know what I mean? Especially with the protests and people congregating unlawfully sometimes. We're still in it. So we still have to be careful. We still have to wear our masks. We still have to wear our protective equipment and everything and be careful. But I'm so grateful that the Lord allowed you to see today, and that I'm able to sit on this live and talk to you about it. You know what I mean? I'm very grateful about that, and I'm able to meet your beautiful daughters. Candy, right? Candy, yeah. I promise you, I think I seen you in church.
Well, she knows agape. She's always in the back.
I'm in the back.
Why you gotta put her on blast? What's she like?
That's my section. It's okay. Anybody watching live from the back section will say that they see me in the back. The ushers try to the front. I stay in the back. Yes.
So you know do you know what I do at church?
Yeah, you know what I see you always in the front. Is it not the security?
No camera.
The camera, yeah. And a couple times I look away when you come. I'm like.
So now it's on. I'm gonna come back there and get you. Okay, I'm gonna have my camera. I'm gonna have come back there and get you.
No.
Watch.
No.
I'm kidding. I'll let you worship in peace. But listen, it is a delight to have you all with me. I have my other guest in studio, so she's backstage. You guys want to hang out, you're welcome to. But she's gonna come on and we're gonna talk from a different perspective. But I'm still grateful that the Lord allowed you to see this day, Miss Janice. And whatever, if you need anything, you let me know. You have my number, okay? Yes. And I can't wait till we get back to church, and I'm gonna give your daughters a big hug.
Okay? Thank you. And thank you to everyone who prayed for me, because it was just the prayers of the righteous that availed very much. Pastor Powell, Pastor Doris, Cherry, Prophetess Marshall, all my friends. I'm just thankful for all the prayers. So thank you. God bless you for what you're doing.
Yes, God bless you.
Thank you.
Love you. All right. Take care. Love you.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, y'all. Oh my God, that was amazing, Miss Janice. We talked about some things, but there were some things that her daughter shed light on that just amazed me. And I'm very encouraged by the fact that her daughters took good care of their mother. If you are a daughter or a son, make sure you take care of your parent. Make sure you take care of your mother, your father, okay? And regardless of the situation, all right? Some other of my guests, one was a wife, and her husband took good care of her. She said in the middle of the night, her husband would lay on top of her. Well, not lay on top of her. Oh, Lord. I mean, their husband and wife, listen. But he would come in and kind of just lay with her, and lay hands on her and pray with her, and so he covered her. I think that's amazing. You know what I mean? Despite the fact that the virus was very contagious, you got individuals like Miss Janice's daughters who came and covered their mom, and one of my other guests' husband came and covered his wife. Okay, and I think that's what it's all about. Like I said, we do have another guest backstage. I'm just gonna bring her on, and then I'm gonna talk about her because this is one of my favorite people in the world. Okay, so if you guys don't mind, start throwing them hearts up, start throwing those likes up, and give my sister Ariane Fonseca a big virtual clap. Oh, my hands is mad big. Oh my God. It just took up the whole screen. I was like, clap, clap. Why my hand's so big? My God. Anyway, Ariane, I can't hear you. You got to turn the mic on. I can't hear you. Just like her. You know, I'm the big brother, and I gotta take care of little sister. Turn your mic on, ma'am. I still can't hear you. So you're supposed to come in and check all this beforehand, okay? And this one does lives on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Black Planet, Mi Gente, MySpace, and she can't get her mic together. Anyway, while she get her mic together, I'm gonna tell you, Ariane is, as I said, she's one of my favorite people in the world. Ariane and I met years ago when I used to do an event called Fashion Fete in New York City. Ariane, get your mic together. I'm just doing this till you get your mic together. You just tap the thing, start talking, let me know that you, because I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. So Ariane and I met years ago. She was one of our designers that came on board to our networking and fashion event that took place in New York City. And then her designs were amazing. And since then we've done photo shoots. I managed one of her conferences that she produced. And we've just been good friends and buddies ever since. And I'm grateful to her because she's an entrepreneur. She is an author. Can you talk? Say something. I still can't hear you, Ariane. Go out and come back in. Just go out and then come back in. So she's an author, and we'll get into that. We have a few minutes. I usually try to keep these under an hour, but we went a little over with Miss Janice's powerful testimony and story of how she beat COVID. So we're just going to talk to Ariane for a few, and we can get her mic together. But she, like I said, she's an entrepreneur. She's an author. She's a motivational speaker. She's done so many things. She's a clothing designer, and she's an international student who lives right now in Miami. She's lived in New York City. She lives currently in Miami. She's from Angola, Africa. Okay. Let me see. Because she's back. Let's see if I can add her.
You hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Perfect. Oh my goodness.
My goodness. So I was just telling the people who you were to me and how we met and a little bit about you. I shared that you are an author, you are an entrepreneur, and basically I wanted to come from a different perspective with this segment. I wanted to kind of talk to an entrepreneur who was not affected by Corona by contracting the virus, but they were affected by Corona in terms of work, in terms of their finances, and etc. So I wanted to kind of bring Ariane on. I know her story, very familiar with it, and I kind of wanted her to kind of dig in to let us know, kind of, where you were, where you are now, how you're holding up, being an entrepreneur and all, a small business owner, and then we're gonna share some other stuff about Ariane. Okay. So come on, Ariane, dig in.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. I'm so honored. but yeah, definitely coronavirus has affected me in a negative way. But what as you know, as you guys, some of you might know, I don't know, I'm not from America, and when you come to America from another country, your perspective is to just come to the country and fulfill the American dream. So for us, it's way harder because we're coming from a totally different country, and we just have those perspectives and expectations and visions about the country. So in my case specifically, I came to America. I mean, I was here before. I lived here before, but I went back to my country and then I returned last year. So when I
Mhm.
returned, I was really getting back on my feet and really trying to, work on my businesses. And he said that I have 18 businesses. But like I was
Sure,
just, trying to
sure.
work on my
I'm sorry,
business
y'all.
and
That's an inside joke with us.
right.
We have 18 businesses.
But
Hmm.
yeah, but I was still working because sometimes when you're a small business owner, you still have to have a main job while you take
Hmm.
care of your business. So I had that main job when I came to America, but unfortunately, due to coronavirus, I was laid off when the quarantine started, and I was just literally okay. So what am I going to do now?
Hmm.
But at this time, I'm literally just hustling, and it's a blessing and a curse because at the same time I'm still being able to find new like renew my vision regarding my business and the purpose that God has for me. So I'm in a time that I have to make sure that I'm good enough financially to eat, but at the same time, just trying to figure out new ideas and new plans, just like do a revamp in my whole life. But
Hmm.
it's not easy. It hasn't been easy.
Hmm. I'm sure. I'm sure. So
Yeah.
you said you were working. You did. Okay. So Ariane is an international student. So she's here basically to get an education and then, you know, uh, actually become a citizen of America, which is amazing. Um, and we'll just wait. Can't wait for that day to happen. But she's an international student. So you said you were working and then you got, I guess, like furloughed because of the coronavirus. In the industry that she worked in, they they weren't able to open, so they had to get rid of all their employees.
Right.
But listen, if anybody in this world knows how to survive a pandemic, it's Ariane Fonseca. Okay, I told you, she's a designer, she's a motivational speaker, she's an event planner. She sold baskets. Okay, she had a partner to sell baskets with just like regular items in it. Then she had another business that I don't even want to talk about because that's do with girls, okay? And that has to do with baskets. Then she, in the middle of all that, she wrote a book, okay? And then now listen, if anybody knows how to survive, it's this one right here, okay? If you need to learn how to survive during the pandemic, you call this one up right here, okay? I don't know how I don't know how, and she knows that if she needed some money, I would send her some money. She has not asked me one time to borrow no money or just to ask for money because that's how big brothers do. They just But she's not one time asked me. I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing it and she's surviving. So you are an encouragement to a lot of people. You're an encouragement to me, and I didn't lose no money during this during this coronavirus. So tell us a little bit more of the things that you had to do to survive as an entrepreneur to survive this coronavirus.
Honestly, when I was laid off, I had to really manage and budget my last paycheck really, really well. So
Hmm.
I was able to do that, and that's how you learn about finances as well. Because when you are working, when you're doing your thing, nothing is happening. When the paycheck comes, it's like it's party, just do whatever.
Hmm.
But when I actually had my last paycheck, I had to be mindful of it. I said, okay, so I have this money and I don't have any perspective of a new job. So I really have to take care of it. I have to plan it in a way that I'm going to survive for a few weeks or a few months. And God is so good that I wrote the book in the right time. It was the perfect
Hmm.
timing because the money that I was making from the book is literally the money that I was able to survive during this time of
Wow.
coronavirus. I I launched the book in March and everything started to happen like at the end of March, April. So
Hmm.
I was still able to get money from the book and really, um survive. And again, God is so good that I was able to have housing and was provided with housing. I don't have to, like I'm not in my own apartment. That's something that also I was affected because just right before coronavirus, that I was getting ready to go to my own apartment. I was literally like at the edge of renting my own apartment. That's when everything started, and I had to step back and really go back to not being my own apartment. So yeah, I had to do a strict budget with my last paycheck, and then really work and hustle with my book. And now, okay, so this is one thing that coronavirus and quarantine does. It refines your vision, right? So you have more time, you have more inspiration to really understand what you're supposed to be doing. And for me, I always work with women. Women was always my focus, but I never really knew what target I should be doing. What's my target market? Women, we have single women, we have widow, we have business women, it's a lot. I can just say I work with women. That's too general. So I was asking God to really show me a target audience that I can market my business, that I can help them. How can I actually help women in a practical, real way, right? So God has been refining my vision and really allowing me to target the right people, which is single women. There are Christian single women that do not know their purpose. And I was asking God, and God said, you have to talk about something that you are living, that you are passionate about, right? So I've been single for a while, and a lot of it is by choice, and you know my story.
Hold on,
So
yes, fellas, she's single, okay, but
I'm not advertising, I just
no, no, I can. She's single because I need to get her. We need to find her husband. Okay, I love being the big brother, but we gotta find her husband. She's single, y'all. Okay, fellas, she's single. But the only thing is, I gotta meet you first. That's it. Cause you know, you gotta go through me first. All right. But I'm sorry, I had to interrupt you to tell the people that
oh my
she's single.
goodness.
Okay.
But anyway, so God was saying that I had to help women, that I can help someone with something that I had never experienced before. I can help you to be a millionaire because I'm not a millionaire yet, right? So I have to help you with something that I'm experienced and I was able to overcome. So I'm single. I've been single for a while, and I'm pursuing God's will. I'm living my purpose, right? I'm having clarity about my purpose. How many women out there are single and desperate and just lost in life, trying to figure out their way in life, right? So God says, speak to them, right? Speak to them. And guess what? Now that I have refined my vision, on Facebook, I'm just in every Facebook group for single women, and they're actually coming to me asking for prayers, asking for advice. It's just so many women out there that are lost and looking for direction, that it's crazy. So now I'm just working on this in a way that I can help them, maybe through coaching, through mentoring, and maybe make this my 20th business, like you said. But really, really, it's just God refining my vision, because I believe that God, when God gives you a vision, it's not a fixed vision. It's not a fixed, and even your purpose is not fixed. Your purpose is refined every day, every year. You have to refine your vision. So I think that that's one positive thing about Corona. The finance part, I'm still trying to figure it out, but thank God, somehow, some way, God always provides. God always, oh, okay. I was like, what's going on? God always provides. God always makes a way. And yeah, and you know that I'm a woman of faith. I just cannot help myself but to live by faith. And living by faith, it's when you ask God, God, I want to be a woman of faith, he will throw stuff to you to prove that you're actually a woman of faith, or a man of faith. And yeah, so
Absolutely. And that's
uh-huh.
important. That's important in being a man or woman of faith is important in this whole time we're living in. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something. Like I tell you, I've been on Ariane for it's probably almost 10 years, but If anybody has the favor of God on their life, is this young lady right here. I see. So I'm not going to move to another country, okay, to try to pursue my. I'm not doing it. Like it's just not happening. Like I'm too scared for that.
All
Now,
right.
we can speak. Oh, I got the favor of God. The Lord will grace me. But no, every move that she's made since I guess the first time you came, you went to New York, was it? The first time
No,
you came?
to America?
Yeah.
No, I was in Miami, but then I lived in New York in 2015.
Okay. So when we met, you were in Miami because I remember you flew up for the event. So,
Yeah.
okay. So since I've known her, the favor of God just rests. Like it just rests. And I'm jealous. I ain't gonna front. Like it just rests on her life. Like listen, if anybody got the favor of God in their life, it's her. And I'm telling you, like even testimony of this website that I was just showing you guys is a testimony of her faith. Her smiling right now is a testimony of God's favor on her life. Her surviving this whole coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic storm is a testimony of the fact that God favors her life. I'm telling y'all. And so I just this is the only reason why I'm her friend, because I want that to spill over onto me. Okay, you do it. No, I just want your favor to spill over onto me.
Take it, receive it.
Oh, you're so sweet. You just want to give the favor of God away. Now listen, okay, the Lord give it to the Lord, take it away. You better hold on to that favor.
No.
Stop playing. You better stop playing. Tell me to
And
get
the
my
funny
own.
thing is that. Hmm?
I say you got to tell me to get my own favor. Okay, you hold on to
Okay,
yours.
that's true.
Okay?
That's true.
Go ahead. What you were saying?
No, I was about to preach, but it's an interview. But I
No,
was
no,
just
it's
talking.
not. No, it's not. You go ahead and preach. Okay.
No, I was just saying that talking about favor. It's funny that you're saying that because I was just reading about that and studying about favor of God last week. Was last week? Yeah, last week. And I was studying the story of Daniel and how he gained the favor of God because he had understanding and knowledge and the ability to actually solve difficult problems. That's the gift that God gave it to him. But he had to really be a friend of God. He had to really pray. And I was just studying how he gained the favor of God, like through prayer, through fasting, and to obedience of God to God. So, and sometimes this favor of God that you're talking about, it doesn't just happen because you have the favor of God as well, but you just don't realize it, right? You just cannot see it in you. You see it in me, but you cannot see it in you. But in my case, personally, I see that I cannot take that for granted.
Uh-oh. Did we get stuck?
That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing last week. I was just doing an evaluation, a self-evaluation, and seeing what I need to go back into it and what I need to do to really become stronger in my relationship with God and renew this favor that He has with me. Because the favor that He had 10 years ago will not work today. So I have to continually work and pursue this favor because we all have the love of God, but not all of us have the favor of God. So we have to go after that. We have to go after this favor every single day. And yeah, so I'm just gonna throw this out there.
This is all I got. This all I got, Evangelist. I'm sorry. You gonna have to just take this. That's all I got.
I'm trying to be serious. I'm trying to be serious
Come on.
with you.
Come on, you know what this is, okay?
Because we don't really talk like that.
I'm not serious, okay? I like to have a little bit of
Cash
fun.
out this money to me.
Yeah. Oh, but I thought you wanted to be serious. You see that? You see that, folks? This is me and Ariana all
Cash
day
out this
every day.
money for me right now.
Cash app this money for me. As a matter of fact, what is your cash app? What's the cash app, ma'am? $sign what?
You want my cash out?
What is it?
It's Ariane Karina on
Oh,
the other
Jesus.
side. And Nara.
Ariane who?
It's Ariane but change the words, make it backwards. Ariane backwards, and then Karina.
Are we serious?
Let me send it to you. Let me send it to you by
Yeah,
text
you might
message.
do something because I can't spell. I can't do that right now. I'm talking to you at the same time. Anyway, Ariane, listen. So,
Mm.
okay, so you were working, you got furloughed, and then in the middle of it all, you launched the book. Tell me, okay, tell me in, oh Jesus, that's a lot. Tell me in um a few sentences about the book, what its purpose is, who it's meant for, and where we can get it.
Okay, so the book is called Dear 30, and that's because I turned 30 years old in March. I know, it's a lot, but I turned 30 years old, and honestly, I had two wishes for my 30th birthday. Either I was lunch a book, or I was going to go I was going to go to Jamaica because I love Jamaica. So I really wanted to go to Jamaica. But of course, the COVID-19 happened, and even before that, things were not just collaborating for me to go to Jamaica.
Mhm.
So, and I always wanted to launch a book about my experience in life, right? I've lived a little bit, and I don't, my story is not like a very dramatic story. Oh my God, I did this, and then
Mhm.
this happened to me when I was young. I actually had a really good childhood. I have a wonderful family. I have a very stable family. My dad is amazing. My mom is amazing. So I don't have any disruption in my family. But everything that I have to talk to people, or all of my experience, is related to my purpose and how God is directing me to it, to live
Mhm.
it, right? So, and again, it goes back to women, and this book is for everybody. It's not only for women, but when I was writing, I was thinking about women because I'm a woman, so that's what my thought was at the time. And when we are in our way to reach our purpose, or to reach our dreams or vision, there's a lot of things that happen. Even this whole COVID-19 situation that is happening to me right now is an experience, and it's a step for my destiny. Just depends on
Mhm.
how I react to it. The way that I react to it is going to determine how am I going to survive, or to thrive, you know inside joke. To try this season of my life. So I've been
Okay,
following
sorry.
my purpose.
She means thrive, guys.
Oh,
THRIVE.
I have an
You know,
accent.
it's a
I have
little
an
accent. It's thrive, not thrive. Okay, carry on.
Anyway, I still have to learn how to say that. But anyway, so I found my purpose when I was 22, when I was in 2020. So since then, it hasn't been a straight journey. I've been through so many ups and downs, and um, talking about relationship with people, talking about finances, talking about moving from one continent to another, and learning different languages. Just everything that is part of somebody's reaching their own purpose. So I just gather all these lessons that I have learned in the way and put in a book. And that's
Wow.
why situations like the one that I'm going right now, that my finances are being shaken. I don't have my family here with me. Even in this whole COVID-19 situation, you want to be around your family. You want to
Mhm.
be around people that can comfort you. My family are you, and in need people, that my friends. But
Mhm.
sometimes you want your father, you want your mother, you want your sisters, right? So I
Yeah.
don't have that here. But I have to be strong. I have to make sure that I find strength and believe that this is all collaborating for my purpose. And I talk a lot
Mhm.
about purpose because I believe that we all have a purpose here. And if you don't have a
Mhm.
purpose, you're not living, you're just existing.
Mhm.
So everything that I've been through to reach my purpose, my vision, is in that book so far,
And
until
it's
until now.
I guess the theme is 30. So you give 30
Life
life
lesson.
lessons, 30 life lessons.
So
So
I
that's the
have
format
I,
of the book.
I have 30 life lessons. I talk about, and I was even recording a YouTube video today about destiny angels. So I talk about destiny angels, how sometimes we have people come into our lives to bless us, and they bless us in a way that we are in awe how they can actually do that to us, right? Imagine you are going through a situation, and I think you have told me stories like that, that people come and bless you. I think you have, yeah. So I mean, everybody has. So those are people sent by God to bless you, and you don't have to feel the burden to pay them back because God is going to pay them back. So I had to learn that, you know, and I call them destiny angels. I talk about love. I talk about life choices, how sometimes you have to make some choices in advance before they happen, because sometimes you have to choose between your family and your career. So if you don't know exactly the value of each, you have to think about that decision at that moment, and you might make the wrong decision. But you should actually make that decision in advance. What you value the most, your family or your career. So when the time comes and you may have to make a decision, you're ready to make a decision. And you're gonna make the right decision. I talk about marriage. I talk about
Okay. What? So what we're not gonna do is tell people all the whole book because we want them to buy it.
what is
Okay.
that?
I said them about the whole book because we want them to buy it.
Oh, okay.
You gonna give away the whole book.
That's
We need
true.
people to go on to the website and buy it. Where is
That's
it?
true.
I just put it up, but let me put the website up again. This is the website you guys can go to purchase the book.
Somebody went to the
It's called
website already, yes, I believe.
Cool. That's cool. Well, don't just go to the website, buy the book.
Buy the
Okay.
book,
So
yes.
you don't have to buy no more.
Support your sister here. Support your sister.
Yeah, support her because I'm gonna have to buy them all up, and then I don't want to do that. Okay, but here, look, this is designerarianfonseca.com. I know it's a lot, but take that down. Go to the website and purchase the book. Uh, she'll also be hosting a women's
You put the
virtual conference.
website wrong here in the head. It's you said
I did.
www Ariane Fonseca. It's designer Ariane Fonseca. You should not make that mistake.
It says designer Ariane Fonseca. What are you talking about?
On that
It doesn't
thing,
say.
doesn't say it?
Oh, in the ticker. Oh, let's
Yeah,
just take that off. Okay,
you
that's.
cannot make this mistake.
No, it's bigger there though. Okay, so let's listen. Don't tell me. All right, I'm trying to produce this and talk to you at the same time. It's hard work. Anyway, we're gonna
You are
have a
forgiven.
virtual. Thank you. A virtual women's conference. In hold on, watch this. In October. So stay tuned for that. Okay, it's right there. Um, Clearly, it's going to be free. So gonna make some changes to the site. But she's gonna have a virtual women's conference in October. So stay tuned for that, guys. And make sure you go and purchase the book at designerarianfonseca.com. Okay, not just
Yeah.
Ariane Fonseca. You're gonna have to buy that domain too. So if I make that mistake again, I'm covered. You know what I mean? So, guys, listen. We're gonna have Ariane back on. I did go over time, which is okay. We're having a good time, but I want to have her back on. She can tell a little bit more, get a little more details about her book. But for now, go to the website and purchase the book, designerarianefonseca.com. All right, and just send her some love, send her some encouragement. All right, and if you don't want to purchase the book, which you should, just go onto the Cash App and Cash App her a couple dollars, just to be a blessing. You know, her like other this one over here. Her like a lot of other entrepreneurs are, they're keeping a smile on their face, but low key it's tough. Okay, and so we wanna help them out. All right, but listen, it was great to have you on, Ariane. We gotta go. Like I said, we're gonna have you on again. Talk a little bit more, get a little bit more about your book, share with some of the ladies that follow us, and hopefully share your story. So thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know you didn't really have no choice because I'm the big brother. Okay, and so but I will say thank you. I'll be polite and say thank you. You guys,
Thank you.
you guys go ahead. You guys go ahead and purchase her book. Follow her on Instagram. What is it Instagram is Designer Ariane Fonseca, right?
Designer
And
Ariane Fonseca, yes.
the same as the website name. That's her Instagram page. So go follow her on Instagram. All right, you guys be a blessing to her. Listen, next week, I'm going to have on this Facebook Live a NICU nurse. She works as a NICU nurse in 2 states, in New York and New Jersey. And so she has the pleasure of understanding what was going on with COVID in New York and New Jersey. So you don't want to miss it. And the spin is that she's a NICU nurse, so she takes care of babies. Okay, so we're gonna have a good time with her. I spoke to her already. She's ready to come on here and share from her perspective. So you guys come back next Monday at 6:55 p.m. All right. I'm looking to do a special Facebook Live this Thursday, so just look out for the flyer. Those of you that are still on with us, and I'm grateful for everybody that's come on and hung out with us. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'm going to see you the next time we log on here, which will be Thursday or Thursday and on Monday. All right. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming, Ariane. You know I love you.
I love you too.
A fat kid loves cake. Okay, and I'll send that Cash App the little $5 for your offering via Cash App. Okay. All right, y'all. So this
Okay.
is Facebook Live with Dellz. I might have to change it because Miss Janice's daughter gave me a good idea for a title. So I might have to change it. So this might change next week. All right. But y'all be blessed, be safe, and keep safe out here. Stay healthy. Still adhere to all of the regulations that the government is putting out for us. Don't think this thing is over. This coronavirus is here to stay for a little bit longer. Okay. But with the grace of God and through the healing of God, we're all going to stay healed and we're going to stay healthy. All right.
Amen.
So you guys have a blessed evening, and I will see you on Thursday. Deuces.